Okay, so I cleaned my mess up. Put the water in there, put the hide in there, put this back in there along with the plastic thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my half a bucket of water back on top of it, just like I did when I was soaking it when it had the lye in there, just to make sure the whole hide stays under the water. And like I said, I'll leave this sit for a couple hours. Every once in a while I'll take the bucket out and just kind of agitate it just to make sure things are moving around a little bit, and then I will just keep doing that for a little bit, for a few times, 5 or 6 times, whatever it takes, where you'll feel it. You'll be able to tell when the hide feels like it should, and because right now it's a real rubbery feeling, all swelled up and rubbery and everything else. So that's where we're at. So we're going to take a break on the hide for a while, and we'll get back to it. The next part will be, I'll soak this. I'm not going to film every time I change the water because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll keep changing the water, agitate it once in a while, change the water, you know, just keep doing it until I get it back to where I want. And then the next part is we will take it out in the yard, lay it out, and pop holes around it. And when you pop holes around it, around the outside edge, I don't use my big knife. First time I ever did it, I did, and I realized that you really don't need big giant holes like that. So what I will do is just use, I got my little Swiss Army knife, and I'll just pop little tiny holes in there, and then we'll lace the rope through the holes and tie it to the edge. Usually what I do is I tie first four corners first, and then I work around the edge from there. So but I'll go over that in the next part. So thank you, and we will be back. Okay, so I dumped the water, and this is the last change. I'm gonna go ahead and add fresh water again and agitate it a little bit, leave it soak for a little bit, and then we'll be done with the soaking process. It's about the 5th or 6th change I've done on the water, and the skin's looking pretty good, but we're gonna do it one more time just for safety's sake. So let me pause this, and I'll go turn the water on. Okay, so I got it filling up with water now. We'll fill that up, put the weights back on it, leave it soak for an hour or two, and then we'll get it racked up on a rack. Okay guys, so I'm back. We're gonna go ahead and get this hide out of this bin, and we're going to start stringing this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and just hold the camera for a few minutes, and then I'm going to put it on the tripod and show you guys how how to lace this hide up a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the hide out of here and probably just hang it here a little bit and let the water run out of some of this. And I'm probably going to go ahead and wring it out as well as I can too. And then we're going to come over here, and I got a makeshift rack that I've been using for years, and here it is. And we're going to go ahead and we'll lay the hide out in the middle of this thing, and then we'll tie each corner, or at least the top two corners, and then we'll start lacing this thing down along here. So let me go ahead and get the tripod out, and I'll lay that hide out in the middle of here, and we'll get started on that. Okay, so I want to take this hide out of here the rest of the way and just kind of get as much water out of it as we can, and wring this thing out. And you can wring it out any way you want. I usually will wring it out almost like as if we were gonna brain it, but being that I don't have that part of it set up today, we are just gonna wring it the best we can. And a good way to do that is to just put it around something and start twisting it, and just get all that, as much of this water out of here as we can. We're going to leave it sit anyways and dry out. And you just wring it, and you wring it, and you wring it. So you get as much moisture as you can out of here. Okay, so let me do this for a few minutes so I can get it as wringed out as I can. And I may actually even take a stick and wrap it around here and twist it with a stick just to get more pressure out of it. So I'll be right back. So I put it up on here, and I laid it out, and I hung one end over this way, and I rolled the other end up and hung it over the rung this way a little bit. And then I just took it, the whole hide, and rolled it over on top of itself, so that it's so that way it forms a donut. And I'll show you how to do that again when we do the brain tanning part in a little more detail, when there's a little bit more room. So now I need to find something to stick through there to twist it. So let me go ahead and grab a handle. Okay, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. This is just a shovel handle that I had saved for a project that I haven't done yet. So really all we're going to do is take it and we're going to stick it through here, just like so, and we're just going to start twisting. And we're just going to twist the heck out of this thing until we get all that water out of there. And we're putting some pressure on this. Don't be afraid to twist it. You're not gonna rip this hide unless you get a 10-foot stick, and then you still might not rip it. And I'll keep pressure on it until it just comes down to it, instead of a trickle, a drip. When it comes down to a drip, I'll put a little more pressure on it, see if anything else comes out. Then we unwrap it like so. So you have the donut again like this, and then start twisting it the other way. And do it again. And this ladder's not very sturdy, so I'm kind of keeping my foot on the ladder too at the same time. Okay, then after you get to that point, you just unwrap it. And the end of my freaking stick has mud on it, so probably gonna rinse this thing off. But anyways, so then you take it and you grab it about halfway in the middle right here, put it up there like so, pull it back out, put this thing back in there, and start twisting it again. And I'll do that 4 times. You know, every quarter turn you'll do this, and you twist it one way and twist it the other way, and then rotate the donut another quarter turn until you've gone all the way around the whole donut. So at that point I am going to shut the camera off and I will be back. Okay, this is my last rotation, so I'm going to really and that's probably good. Get rid of that trickle, and you'll notice something when I unwrap this after doing this ringing thing. My donut's falling apart, but you'll notice that after doing this ringing thing, my donut got a lot bigger. So the next thing you want to do is unwrap it, which the bottom's already starting to come unwrapped. And we will go ahead and take this apart, and we're going to use our hands and stretch it back out again. And once I get it stretched out again, I will put it in the middle of the rack and we'll start lacing this thing up. So let me go ahead and move the tripod around and stuff, and we'll get to that. And it doesn't hurt to take a couple extra minutes to really stretch this thing out real good. The more you stretch it, the bigger piece of skin you'll have in the long run. Of course, I'll stretch it a little bit when I put it in the rack too. Okay, so a couple of the tools you're going to need to do this. A knife, preferably a smaller knife. Don't have to be anything big. And for me, you need rope, any kind of rope you want. I like to use thinner rope, and for me, I got baler twine everywhere around here because we have cows and pigs and stuff, so I just use baler twine. It can be the natural stuff or the artificial, you know, plastic stuff. Doesn't really matter. I will say one thing: the plastic stuff's stronger, so you can use it over and over again. The only problem is that a lot of times it's knotted in spots, and you just got to work around the knots. But that's not a big deal. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go around the skin and start popping little holes in it, about 3/4 of an inch or so from the edge, and then we'll start lacing this line through. I'm not going to talk much while I'm doing it, but you'll be able to get the idea as to what I'm doing as I do it. So I'm just going to point the camera down and go ahead and start working on this, and you guys can just kind of watch along. And I'll probably shut the camera off after a few minutes because just for the sake of the video, it becomes shorter. And I'll put these holes about, oh, I don't know, 2-3 inches apart. You gotta be careful, you don't want to get your fingers or anything like that. Just keep everything out of the way. And then I just I'll start lacing it a little bit at a time. Pull this side up closer to the edge of this rack than I would that side, because I want a lot of it on this side. That way, when I do that side, I can pull it pretty good. And we'll just come over to this corner. Since I'm here, I'll pop the holes all the way around it. Like I said, make sure you keep your fingers out of the way. You don't want to be popping a hole through your finger. Trying not to run the knife into the ground too. Even though it is just a Swiss Army knife, that's still probably my favorite knife. Okay, here's what it looks like about half laced up. For the sake of the camera, it's starting to rain. I'm going to stick the camera inside and go ahead and lace up a little bit more and then show you another picture. But you guys kind of get the idea. You just lace it up all the way around, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're getting close. You'll notice that I kept it close to the top and sort of closer to this edge, and there's the reason for that is that way I'll go down this edge over here next on this side, and then when I'm doing the rest of that, I'll really give it some stretch and really stretch that thing out. And up there by the neck, you can tell, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but you can tell where all those cuts and stuff are. So you get stretched out like this, it gives you a really good look at what you're looking at. So let me go ahead and finish this up before I get rained out, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so here it is sitting in the garage, and it's just got to dry now. It's still really wet, and you can feel it. And as it dries, it'll shrink just a little bit, but not much. And this thing will get nice and tight, and then I'll be able to sand it really good, and we'll be in good shape. So there you go. I just wanted you guys to get a good look at it, and I think that's about all I can do there. And yeah, so next step is just to let it dry. So I will be back.